Oh, Claude Code. And honestly, guys, I think Claude Code was the most. We are testing all AI code review tools. GitHub Copilot, Cursor Bugbot, CodeRabbit, Claude Code, OpenAI Codex, the lot. I will try all of them so you don't have to. AI has enabled me to do the work of an entire team. But with all of this hype comes a lot of grift too. So I want to find out if AI code review tools are here to stay or just another hype. So here's what we'll do. I'll ask my good friend Claudia Codenberg to write a new feature for my app PageAI. It's a medium complexity feature that touches both the backend and the frontend, as well as the database and storage. So there are plenty of things that could go wrong. Then I'll ask the most popular AI code review tools to take a look at the code, and then we'll decide together if they're or You ready? Let me just get my internet cap on. Shout out to Sentry for sponsoring the show and to the Syntax podcast for this awesome internet cap. Currently, when PageAI comes across an image in the generated code, it will show it as a text field with the image URL inside. So this is not super user-friendly. Ideally, what I'll have instead is a file selector where you can just pick an image from your hard drive with the fallback to the URL if you want to put the URL in. So I wrote this massive prompt explaining that we want the image picker to be used for the image elements and specifically for their SRC or image SRC props. Then we want existing patterns in the code base to be used. We want the images to be saved to the database and to the Supabase storage. And also this is in plan mode. So I've asked Claude to create a tasks MD file where we keep track of what we plan to implement. Do you believe it's going to one-shot this? Place your bet in the comments. And already in a couple of minutes, backend's done. What a time to be alive. And just like that, the front end is done too. And boom, special cases handled as well. Now I'm super excited to try out the UI. I can't wait. I need to try the UI. Let's try the UI. And let's just select the first image and damn, it's there. Are you kidding me? Did it just one-shot this? No way. Okay, so okay, don't get too excited. No. Easy there, cowboy. So it appears like the special prop has been handled, which is very cool. It appears that it managed to read the image, but the really interesting part now is if I drop an image there, will it actually replace it and save it in a database and do the whole thing and not break the app? I am incredibly ready and excited to drop this file on 3, 2, 1, and lift off. And it worked. What? Did it just what? Did it do it? It did it. What actual? It just one-shotted the whole thing, guys. All right, I'm out. See ya. Okay. So we have the code, we have the functionality, we tested it, it works. But what else is hiding in that code? Is there a little bit of slop we can find? We're going to throw in the best AI code review tools in the arena. CodeRabbit first. Let's see how to install this baby. So I went to codeRabbit.ai/CLI. There's a curl command and I'm going to paste it in my terminal. Then CodeRabbit says it has extracted the CLI binary. Then I need to restart my shell. So just gonna sign in with GitHub, press authorize CodeRabbit, paste the token, and I'm good to go. So what I'm gonna do is just to type CodeRabbit. This will open up a super retro looking CLI tool. And you can see here, it has detected that I've changed 15 files. It's comparing my feature branch to the main branch, which is pretty much what I want to do. Let's just hit that enter and hop into the review. A minor detail unrelated to the review itself. It seems like the UI is a little bit glitchy. I don't think it affects the code review at all, but I wish CodeRabbit would fix this. It's a little bit distracting. And the review is in. So we have 3 files and 4 comments. The UI is pretty straightforward. You can use the right arrow key to open and close issues. So I'm just going to open up the first one. So the first is a security issue, and apparently the MIME type can be bypassed in the backend. The CLI will give you a code sample on how to fix it, and then you have a couple options, which is to get a prompt to fix with AI, apply a suggestion, or reject comment. The copy prompt to fix with AI is quite clever, and it's a really nice way to make this portable to any ID or AI agent, really. I'm just going to go through the other suggestions and see what else it found. There's also a MIME type issue in the front end that we should fix. Then there's some funky inner HTML here, which honestly looks a little bit like AI slop. And then finally, we have added an unnecessary dependency to our package.json, so we can just remove that. Initial thoughts. I like this. It highlighted some important things, mostly regarding security, which is good. I'm not an expert in security, so these are probably things that wouldn't have caught. I just don't know about them. I like that it was short and focused and didn't create a lot of false positives, didn't just create a bunch of comments for the sake of comments. So was this review worth it? I would say definitely. It was fairly quick. All of the comments it made are relevant. The setup was painless, and I didn't even have to put a credit card, I believe. It just worked, which is kind of wild. So definitely thumbs up from me. One more thing I want to try before we move on. I also want to run the CodeRabbit agent inside a pull request on GitHub and see if we get a different output there. Alright, so the PR code review is now in. Some of the comments are the same, primarily regarding the MIME types and around the SVG upload. Additionally, in the PR, it's also mentioned that allowing unsanitized SVGs might expose us to XSS attacks, which is not ideal, so we should definitely look into that and sanitize them or even prevent SVGs from being uploaded for the time being. So the review is similar to the one in the CLI. The only difference is that now we need to copy paste things and go back and forth. I think the CLI is very nice in the context of Claude Code or some sort of CLI AI agent, where the AI agent can go back and forth with the CodeRabbit CLI and fix issues as they appear. Cool, let's move on to Cursor Bugbot. So I'm just gonna press the try button here, and I'm taken to my Cursor dashboard. And I am a little bit confused because it says I have reached my Bugbot limit. I haven't used it at all. This is literally the first time I look into it. I don't know. I press the connect GitHub button. Then it's asking me to link my GitHub account. Fair enough. Then the account is linked successfully. And then I'm sent back to my Cursor dashboard. It seemed like it worked. So I guess let's just head over to GitHub and try Bugbot. I'll just create a new PR so we start up fresh, and now I'll just comment at Cursor review, and hopefully this will start the review process. Yeah, it did. Alrighty, so Cursor reviewed the code, just one comment, which I'm a little bit surprised by because there were a few issues that CodeRabbit found. This one's regarding inner HTML DOM manipulation, so it's a good catch, but it didn't catch all of the security things. I still think it's good that these do less rather than more. I was a little bit afraid that when I'm going to use this, I'm going to get, a wall of comments for a ton of small things, a ton of style changes and so on. So I'm happy that it's focusing on actual issues, but I kind of feel like Cursor has missed the mark here a little bit. Was the review worth it? Well, it's better than no review, so I think so. I'll give this a thumbs up as well, but I'm not as impressed as I am by CodeRabbit so far. Great, let's move on to Copilot now. I'll create a brand new PR, and to the right here I have Copilot and the request button, so I'm just gonna press that. And now we wait. And it seems to be done. I hope that it actually reviewed the code because this was so quick that I'm having some questions regarding the quality of the review, but let's just read through it. So Copilot caught a couple of null checks. It also caught this inner HTML issue that happens to be the only issue that Cursor caught. However, Copilot also caught a false positive, which is that a certain type assertion in the backend might cause runtime issues, but I know for a fact that this won't. So was the Copilot review worth it? definitely worth it. It did miss those security issues that CodeRabbit has highlighted, but is definitely better than Cursor's Bugbot. It caught some other things that should be fixed. On top of that, it was quite quick. I'm not sure that it's really an important metric, but hey, credit where credit is due. Thumbs up for me, GitHub Copilot. And now it is time to deploy the big boys. It's time to try Claude Code on this PR. Once the king of vibe coding, now just a super controversial contender. Let's not get into that. I'm still using Claude Code quite a lot. Let's see how it does in a PR review, shall we? So you start off by typing /install GitHub app. Then it is prompting me to authenticate with GitHub. I will just do this in a separate terminal. It asks me where I use GitHub. That's on github.com. Then I select the key, then log in with a web browser. Then I gotta paste this code. And finally, I'm all set. So now back to the terminal. Whoops, I messed it up. No, never mind, it did work. It seems like I'm logged in now. Now back to Claude, I get this error that I don't have the workflow scope. So I need to go back into the terminal and add the scope apparently. Claude Code is a lot more low level, and that's also what makes it great. Sometimes, not all the time. All right, workflow scope added. And now for the third time, let's install the GitHub app, use the current repository. This should have opened my browser, but it didn't. No matter, I'll open it myself. Now I'll install the Claude GitHub app, and this threw me to my Claude profile for some reason, and I have no idea why. I'll just return to Claude Code, and I'll press enter here. And Claude Code would like to create 2 workflows in my repository, so I'm just gonna go ahead and accept that. And then I need to add an API key. And apparently there should be a PR waiting for me to enable Claude Code in my repository. I don't see a PR, but I see 2 branches. So the branches that it created seem to be the exact same. I'm just going to merge it.
2,000 years later.
And we are done. I really feel spoiled at this point by how easy it was to install CodeRabbit, Cursor Bugbot, and GitHub Copilot as compared to this one. The PR review better be good. So let's create a new pull request. And I actually have no clue how to get Claude to review this. Aha, it seems like there was a Claude Code review action that ran automatically. Let me just open that up. Okay, Claude Code review is ready, and this is definitely a different style of review than what we've seen before. It basically provides one long comment that also contains a summary of the PR. I did find the same MIME type issues that both CodeRabbit and Copilot has found, but it's not providing a way to fix them, which is a bit unexpected to be honest. This is just AI outputting a bunch of text because it likes to output a bunch of text. It's also yapping about some test coverage. Definitely missed that inner HTML issue that others have found. Actually, not that many UI considerations in Claude's review of this. Out of all of them, it was definitely the hardest to set up, but for me the disappointing part was that the code review was pretty much equal to just prompting something directly in Claude Code or prompting it in Cursor. So nothing really that special, and it wasn't able to make comments on the files that it actually reviewed. Pretty basic stuff. And no wonder if I open up the workflow, you can see that it's actually using a super basic prompt right here to do the review. And this is exactly the secret sauce that CodeRabbit and probably Bugbot and Copilot have that make their reviews a lot more focused, a lot better, and a lot more contextual to the files that they have changed. This one just seemed to review the whole thing. So in a big PR, I don't imagine that this would work very well, honestly. All right, last but not least, we have Codex by OpenAI. They also have a code review functionality. According to their documentation, you only need to go to Codex Cloud and then enable code review for a given repository. So on chatgpt.com/codex, after you connect with GitHub, on the bottom right, you will see a button that says enable code review. Let's just hit that. And in here, you can select either all repos or specific repos to enable code review for. At the top here, it says that I can mention Codex in my PR and it's just going to go ahead with the review. So let's try that out. I'll open a new PR And then I have mentioned Codex, and it replied that I need to create an environment for this repo for the code review. I wonder what that means. Just to mention, I haven't used Codex before, so this is probably because of that. I imagine that regular users don't have to go through this setup. So I've just created an environment. I'm gonna get back to the PR now. Ooh, I badly want this to be good. All right, this took a hot minute. It's almost nightfall, as you can see. I had to check at some point if it's actually doing anything or it's just stuck. It was doing something. And the result of that was this comment with one task, and that is also regarding the MIME types that pretty much all of the other PR reviewers have found, except for Cursor, if I'm not mistaken. So all in all, not super impressive, but I want to show you something. At the bottom of this comment, there is a view task link. And if I press it, you can see that Codex drafted some code changes inside of its environment thing. It is a fairly comprehensive change, perhaps more comprehensive than any of the other reviewers. And for that, I think it has pretty big potential. It's just that it didn't catch a lot of the other things that were obviously a security issue in the backend. But for the one that it did find, I think this is actually quite cool. So you can see to my right, I have the options to either update the branch or create a new PR. And I think this is a pretty cool workflow. So was the review worth it? Yes, I think so. It was a little bit slower than the others, but again, I don't think that's super relevant. I wish it did a better job at catching the other errors too, but for one that it did catch, it's pretty good. It's definitely better than not having this review. It is important to mention that all of these support custom instructions too, so you can make them work better for you and for your code base. But what is the conclusion, Dan? And which one's the best? First thing I want to say is that after trying all of these AI code review tools, I can say that they are definitely here to stay. They were all useful to some extent, and I'm actually quite impressed by that. So with all that we've seen today, I think I have no choice at all but to create a mandatory S tier list and rank them all. I really have no choice, guys. My hands are tied. Look, they're tied together. I need to do the list. Okay, let's do the list. And by no means, this is not scientific or anything. This is just how I feel about them after using them all. So let's start from the top, Cursor Bugbot. So after using Cursor Bugbot, I just feel like it was average. The timing was okay, but it didn't catch some of the things, and overall it wasn't impressive. It worked, it did the thing, but it didn't do it greatly. So I'll put that as an average right there. The next one on the list, Claude Code. I think Claude Code by far was the most difficult to install and also the most basic and, to be honest, underwhelming of them all. Like I could have just written a prompt in Claude Code. I think as much as I love Claude Code, I'm sorry, it's a D. It's a D. I can't put it anywhere else. All right, next one, CodeRabbit. I think I'm a little bit biased also because it was the first that I used, but I really think that the CodeRabbit struck a good balance. It found, I think, most of the things, but also didn't go too verbose on the issues. Oh man, do we have our first S tier? Let me think about it. So we have, I think I know exactly how they rank. So CodeRabbit, S tier. Then between Codex and GitHub Copilot, I have some thoughts. I think it did a lot better than I expected. I expected it to be around average. It was a tiny bit too verbose and it didn't catch some things that I wanted it to catch. But all in all, it seemed solid. So just because of that, I'll put it as an A tier. You know what? A lot of people dunking on GitHub Copilot and that it's behind. It was definitely A tier. No doubt about it. Last one, OpenAI Codex. I'm going to be a little bit controversial with this one. So it only caught one of the multiple issues that were in the code. But even so, I think that the quality of the code and the approach they have is pretty nice. So the fact that they spin up a container where they try to make the changes and allow you to even do a PR with those and see the full code was very cool. I kind of expected Claude Code to do that, to be honest. Can I change my mind? Is it legal to change my mind in this? I think what I'm gonna do, damn, I can't change my mind. So I wanted to move Copilot to S tier. This is how I feel about it. I think it was pretty good. Oh man, don't cancel me for this, but I'm gonna put Codex in S tier as well. No, I can't. It just found one issue, but the potential is great. But okay, for the potential, I gotta move it into A tier. It has great potential. I liked it. It just didn't find the things that I wanted to find. So Codex, A tier. And with that, here is the ranking that we have so far. Really disappointed in Claude Code. I'm a big Claude Code user. I thought it's gonna crush all of these, because it has some sort of magic sauce, some sort of whatever. Super disappointed in Claude Code. I'm sorry. So there you have it. AI code review tools ranked. This is by no means scientific. And it's AI, so asking it to do the same thing might yield different results. So your mileage may vary with these tools as well. But after using them for a while, this is just how I feel about them. Take it with a mountain of salt. And with that, thank you for tuning in, guys. I spend a lot of time on these videos. I need to do coding, I need to do review, I need to set up a bunch of things. This video in particular took almost 2 weeks, and I still have the edit and a bunch of other things to do. So I would definitely appreciate a subscribe, a like, or if you enjoyed the video, just say thank you in the comments. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one. All great things, though, start with a good cup of coffee.